Welcome to my channel. Let's talk about money. The history of money concerns the development of social and economic systems that provide at least one of the functions of money. Such systems can be understood as means of trading wealth indirectly, not directly as with barter. Money is a mechanism that facilitates this process. No one knows for sure who first invented such money, but historians believe metal objects were first used as money as early as 5000 BC. Around 700 BC, the Lydians became the first Western culture to make coins. Other countries and civilizations soon began to mint their own coins with specific values. Chinese create object that resembles modern-day coin. Sometime around 770 BC, the Chinese moved from using actually usable objects such as tools and weapons as a medium of exchange to using miniature replicas of these same objects that had been cast in bronze. Due to impracticality, nobody wants to reach into their pocket and impale their hand on a sharp arrow. These tiny daggers, spades, and hoes were eventually abandoned for objects in the shape of a circle. These objects became some of the first coins. Although China was the first country to use an object that modern people might recognize as coins, the first region of the world to use an industrial facility to manufacture coins that could be used as currency was in Europe, in the region called Lydia, now Western Turkey. Today, this type of facility is called a mint, and the process of creating currency in this way is referred to as minting. First official currency. In 600 BC, Lydia's king Ayots minted the first official currency. The coins were made from Electrum, a mixture of silver and gold that occurs naturally, and the coins were stamped with pictures that acted as denominations. In the streets of Sardis, in approximately 600 BC, a clay jar might cost you 2 owls and a snake. Lydia's currency helped the country increase both its internal and external trading systems, making it one of the richest empires in Asia Minor. Today, when someone says, as rich as Croesus, they are referring to the last Lydian king who minted the first gold coin. Transition to paper currency. Around 700 BC, the Chinese moved from coins to paper money. By the time Marco Polo, the Venetian merchant, explorer, and writer who traveled through Asia along the Silk Road between AD 1271 and 1295 visited China in approximately AD 1271, the Emperor of China had a good handle on both the money supply and various denominations. In fact, in the place where modern American bills say, "In God We Trust," the Chinese inscription at that time warned, "Those who are counterfeiting will be decapitated." Parts of Europe were still using metal coins as their sole form of currency all the way up to the 16th century. This was helped by their colonial efforts. The acquisition of new territories via European conquest provided them with new sources of precious metals and enabled them to keep minting a greater quantity of coins. However, banks eventually started using paper banknotes for depositors and borrowers to carry around in place of metal coins. These notes could be taken to the bank at any time and exchanged for their face value in metal, usually silver or gold coins. This paper money could be used to buy goods and services. In this way, it operated much like currency does today in the modern world. However, it was issued by banks and private institutions, not the government, which is now responsible for issuing currency in most countries. The first paper currency issued by European governments was actually issued by colonial governments in North America. Because shipments between Europe and the North American colonies took so long, the colonists often ran out of cash as operations expanded. Instead of going back to a barter system, the colonial governments issued IOUs that traded as a currency. The first instance was in Canada, then a French colony. In 1685, soldiers were issued playing cards denominated and signed by the governor to use as cash instead of coins from France. The emergence of currency wars. The shift to paper money in Europe increased the amount of international trade that could occur. Banks and the ruling classes started buying currencies from other nations and created the first currency market. The stability of a particular monarchy or government affected the value of the country's currency, and thus, the ability for that country to trade on an increasingly international market. The competition between countries often led to currency wars, where competing countries would try to change the value of the competitor's currency by driving it up and making the enemy's goods too expensive, by driving it down and reducing the enemy's buying power and ability to pay for a war, or by eliminating the currency completely. Mobile payments. The 21st century has given rise to two novel forms of currency: mobile payments and virtual currency. Mobile payments are money rendered for a product or service through a portable electronic device, such as a cell phone, smartphone, or a tablet device. Mobile payment technology can also be used to send money to friends or family members. Increasingly, services like Apple Pay and Google Pay are vying for retailers to accept their platforms for point-of-sale payments. Virtual currency. Bitcoin, released in 2009 by the pseudonymous Satoshi Nakamoto, quickly became the standard for virtual currencies. Virtual currencies have no physical coinage. The appeal of virtual currency is it offers the promise of lower transaction fees than traditional online payment mechanisms, and virtual currencies are operated by a decentralized authority, unlike government-issued currencies.